Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to talk you through doing some more technical things with Switchbot's EInk Smart Display. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a full review of this device, and I do really like it, and it's a great addition to my smart home. However, there were a few things with it that I thought could be improved, or things that needed a little bit more technical knowledge. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do all of those, but to start with, let me tell you the three things we're going to look at. So firstly, this device has two buttons which get exposed to matter. You can customize what they say, but they do need a Switchbot scene attached to them. That's if you want to change the text on those buttons. So I'm going to talk you through how to do that. Secondly, this device supports custom screens, and you can customize the text that appears in the Switchbot app, but it's more useful if you can automate it, but that requires using the Switchbot API. So I'm going to talk you through how to do that as well. And then thirdly, you can display up to 5 calendars on this device, but what you can't get is a kind of family overview that shows you alongside each other what everyone's up to. At the moment, you have to toggle between different people, which makes it difficult to compare what's going on. I'm going to show you how to combine all of your calendars into one, so you have one calendar displayed on the device, allowing you to see what everyone is up to. Now, if there's only one of those things you're interested in, there are chapters below to help you find the section you're looking for. But let's start off and talk about those buttons. So if you use this device with a Switchbot hub and expose this device to Matter using the hub's Matter settings, you can get these two buttons in Apple Home and Home Assistant. That means you can use them to control anything in your smart home that you like. They do, however, need a scene in the Switchbot app attaching to them so you can get some nice custom text. So let's work through the process. So firstly, you want to make sure the EInk display is added to the Matter section of one of your Switchbot hubs, and that hub is added to Home Assistant or Apple Home or wherever you want to use the buttons. Secondly, in the Switchbot app from the home screen, you're going to hit plus and create a new scene. Now you can name it whatever you like, but it's going to be whatever text you want on the button you're going to add it to. For example, it could be turn on kitchen light or vacuum. And then for action, you need something it can do that really doesn't matter, because you can't save a scene if it doesn't have an action. So one simple thing is just to use it to turn on an automation that is already on. Another thing to do is if you've got an infrared remote paired to one of your Switchbot hubs, is just press a button that doesn't matter. Next, you want to go into the EInk display and make sure you add those scenes to the buttons. Then we're going to go into our third-party app of choice. So in this case, I'm going to show you how to do it with Apple Home, but also Home Assistant. So in Apple Home, we need to find the device. So the easiest way is to go into Settings, go into Hubs, and find the Switchbot Hub Mini. There, we're going to click into the device, and we'll see there are two buttons that are exposed. We can click one of those buttons and choose what we want to happen with it when it's pressed. Now in Apple Home, it can control one device, many devices, trigger a scene, or you could even convert it to a Siri shortcut for something more complicated. You can also achieve this in Home Assistant. Now the first thing I recommend doing is going into the settings, going into Matter and finding the weather station. And I recommend renaming the buttons. By default, they're just called button and button. So name them button 1 and button 2. It just makes it easy to find later on. Next, go into Settings, Automations and Scenes, and create a new one. Now the trigger is going to be a state change, and for that you're going to find button 1. That's all we need for the trigger. Then you can add anything you want it to control. So for example, you could turn on your kitchen light, or you could even check if the kitchen light is on and turn it off if it is and on if it's not. Save it and you're done. Your button will now trigger those devices. So next, let's talk more about using the custom screens on the device. So first up, you're going to want to go into your EInk display and under Screen Views, add the custom option. You're then going to want to toggle it to use the Switchbot API. Next, you're going to need a Switchbot API key. So in the Switchbot app, you're going to want to go back to the home screen, tap Profile in the bottom right and go into Preferences. Then click About and tap the app version at least 5 times in quick succession. You'll then see a Developer Options option appear. This is where you can get a new token and secret, and as you can see, mine is already there. Now note down the token and make sure you don't share this with anyone. Next, we're going to need to find out the weather station ID. We're only going to need to do this once, so you can use an app like Postman, or you can use a website like recbin.com. But what we're going to do here is we're going to want to make a GET request. And we're going to make that request to https://api.switch-bot.com/v1.1/devices. All you need to go alongside this is a header with authorization and then your token as the value. When you send this off, you'll get a list of your devices. Scroll down this list until you find the weather station and copy the device ID somewhere else, because we're going to need that later on. This is the only time you're going to need to do this step unless you buy another Switchbot weather station. So next we're going to go into Home Assistant. Now make sure you have the File Editor app installed. If you don't, install it, and I like to put mine on the sidebar. Then you want to go into File Editor and into your configuration.yaml file. Here you're going to want to add a new rest underscore command. Again, I've got some boilerplate below that you can use. And basically what it needs is this URL, but replace the device ID with your device ID. It needs a method of post. It needs a content type of application/JSON. It needs headers containing that authorization token and a payload that looks like this. Like I say, I will link the boilerplate below. Now save it, and then you want to restart Home Assistant properly by going into Settings, Developer Tools, check your configuration, and if all is good, you can restart. Not the quick one, the full one. Once it's back up and running, we're going to create an automation. We do this in Settings and Scenes and Automations and hit Create New. The trigger for this can be anything you like. Then the action is going to be a perform action. And that will be the rest_command and whatever you called it. Here you're going to pass in your message data. You can then save it and run the actions to test it out. Now you won't see the change instantly because I do find the screen takes around 10 minutes to update. The weird thing is Switchbot officially say it updates with the weather, which is every hour as a minimum, so I don't really know how it works. But that's all you need to do to set up the custom screens. So now let's move on to calendars. This is the trickiest bit, but actually I've got lots of boilerplate code, so it should be relatively easy for you. Essentially, I've done the hard work. So as I said, by default, the calendar view on this device lets you toggle between people, but you can't see everyone side by side to kind of compare what everyone's up to. So what we're going to do here is create one new calendar we can add into the Switchbot app. This will display everyone alongside each other. It will update from our existing calendars, so we don't need to do anything different on our devices or services, and it will update every 15 minutes. Alongside that, it will also prefix the event with the name of the person whose event it is, so you can easily see who's up to what. Now we're going to do all of this in Home Assistant. So first up, we're going to go to File Editor again, and we're going to create a new file called merge_calendars_ha.py. If you use my link below, you could actually just save my file and upload it instead. If you create the new file, you're going to want to copy my contents into it. Now you don't need to worry too much about what's going on in this file, other than it basically goes over the calendars and creates a new one. But there are a couple of things you need to change towards the top. So firstly, you want to update the list of calendars with your names of people and your calendar feeds. Now I've only tested this with Apple calendars. It's also worth noting that to keep all of this manageable, we're actually only going to get the last year's data and next year's data. That's simply because we don't need that much information for this device, and even that is probably too much. The final thing to note is that the calendar you're going to end up with is going to be called family-calendar.ics, and this will be the one that's publicly accessible and you can add into your Switchbot device. This does mean that your Home Assistant setup needs to be publicly accessible, so you either need to use Home Assistant Cloud or something more technical like Cloudflare tunnels. Next, you're going to want to save that file and head into configuration.yaml. Here we're going to add in a new shell command. Now under that shell command, we're going to have something called merge_calendars : and then in speech marks python3/config/merge_calendars_ha.py. That basically means when that shell command runs, it will run our file that we just created. That will update your calendar. Once you've added that, save it and then go into settings, and we're going to do a proper restart again. So we're going to go into developer options, check the YAML and do a proper restart. Once restarted, head into settings, automations and scenes, and create a new automation. Now our trigger is going to be a time trigger, and under minutes we're going to have /15. That means it will run every 15 minutes. Then our action is going to be a perform action, and that action is going to be shell_command.merge_calendars, which of course is what we just created. We can then press the 3 lines in the top right to run the actions, which will create our initial ICS. We can then save our automation. This will have created us a merged calendar file at your Home Assistant URL /local/family-calendar.ics. So check that URL works in a browser and then copy it to your clipboard and head into the Switchbot app. Go into your EInk device, schedule and press sync. You can add in your new calendar URL. Then on the screen views, you can set that new shared calendar to display. This will show you a nice family overview on the display. And of course, because it's set up as an automation in Home Assistant, it will continue to update. Now that's it for this video. If you've got any questions, stick them below and I'll try and help you guys out. If you've enjoyed it, there's a link where you can buy me a coffee, or you can just like this video, both of which of course help this channel out. If you want to pick up any of the products mentioned, there's links below as well. Subscribe if you want to see more tech videos when they come out, and I'll see you guys again soon.